Have your teeth suddenly become more sensitive, or even though your dentist found nothing unusual? What if this isn't the beginning of something going wrong, but the beginning of something awakening? What if the sharp sensation you feel when drinking cold water isn't just reaching your teeth, but is symbolically reminding you that your awareness is changing? Across Starseed and Arcturian spiritual communities, many people describe unusual sensations in the jaw, mouth, and teeth during periods they interpret as deep energetic transformation. Whether you see these experiences as spiritual symbolism or simply an invitation to reflect more deeply, this transmission explores a fascinating perspective that has quietly spread among thousands of seekers around the world. But here's the part very few people talk about. Some believe your teeth are connected not only to your physical body, but symbolically to memory, identity, ancestral patterns, and the energetic structures through which you experience reality. If that's true, then why are so many people noticing similar sensations at the same time? Stay with me until the very end, because the final Arcturian message may completely change the way you look at your body forever. And remember, this is a spiritual interpretation, not medical advice. Persistent or severe tooth sensitivity should always be evaluated by a qualified dental professional. Before we begin, if you're one of the awakened souls searching for deeper truth beyond the surface of everyday life, subscribe now and join thousands of seekers exploring consciousness, frequency, and the Arcturian perspective. Every week we share transmissions designed to inspire reflection, inner growth, and spiritual awareness. Now, take a slow breath, quiet the outside world, and prepare to receive this transmission. Imagine waking one ordinary morning. The sun rises exactly as it always has. Your room looks the same. Your routine hasn't changed. You prepare your breakfast, pour a glass of cold water, take one sip tea, and suddenly a sharp sensation travels through one of your teeth. At first you ignore it. Maybe you think the water is simply colder than usual. But later that day, it happens again. Then the next day. Then several more times throughout the week. Nothing dramatic. Nothing unbearable. Just enough to make you wonder. You check your habits. You haven't changed your toothpaste. You haven't started eating different foods. You haven't injured your mouth. Everything appears exactly the same. Except you don't feel exactly the same anymore. Many people stop their story here. They assume it's random. Others schedule a dental examination, which is always the wise first step, because tooth sensitivity has many common and treatable medical causes. Cavities, gum recession, enamel wear, teeth grinding, and other dental conditions are all well understood explanations that deserve professional attention. Yet after taking appropriate care of their physical health, some people still describe another layer to the experience, one that cannot easily be measured with X-rays or dental instruments. Not everyone, but enough people that an interesting pattern begins to emerge within spiritual communities. People who have never met each other, living on different continents, speaking different languages, begin describing strangely similar experiences. Heightened tooth sensitivity, pressure in the jaw, unexpected facial tingling, warmth moving through the mouth, an urge to clench or relax the jaw, strange dreams immediately before these sensations begin, emotional memories surfacing without warning, moments of deep stillness followed by unexplained physical awareness. Coincidence? Perhaps. Or perhaps something symbolic is unfolding beneath the surface of ordinary perception. The Arcturian teachings often encourage a different kind of question. Instead of asking, "What is wrong with me?" they suggest asking, "What is trying to communicate through me?" That subtle shift changes everything, because suddenly the body is no longer viewed only as a machine that occasionally malfunctions. It becomes a messenger, a living field of awareness, a translator between consciousness and physical experience. According to many spiritual traditions, not only Arcturian teachings, the human body continuously reflects inner transformation through symbolic sensations. Stress may tighten the shoulders. Fear may affect the stomach. Grief may feel heavy in the chest. Joy may create warmth throughout the body. If emotions can influence physical experience, could expanding awareness also create symbolic bodily sensations? The Arcturian perspective suggests that during periods of profound interchange, the nervous system, emotions, and awareness may all be experienced differently by the individual. Whether interpreted spiritually or psychologically, people often report becoming more attentive to subtle sensations that previously went unnoticed. This doesn't necessarily mean mysterious forces are directly causing physical symptoms. Instead, the experience itself becomes meaningful. The sensation becomes an invitation, a question, a doorway. Within symbolic Arcturian philosophy, teeth represent more than structures used for eating. They symbolize strength, decision, foundation, identity, the ability to process life's experiences. Every day your teeth transform the outside world into nourishment. Spiritually, this becomes a metaphor. How do you process difficult experiences? How do you integrate painful memories? How do you absorb wisdom? Every challenge that enters your life must eventually become part of you. Just as food becomes energy, experience becomes consciousness. When someone's awareness begins expanding, unresolved memories often rise toward the surface. Old fears, forgotten disappointments, family patterns, childhood beliefs, generational wounds, not to punish you but to be transformed. Imagine renovating an ancient house. Before beautiful new rooms can appear, old walls must be opened. Hidden pipes become visible. Dust fills the air. The house seems messier before it becomes stronger. Many starseeds describe awakening in exactly this way. Life initially feels more sensitive, not less. Loud noises seem louder. Crowded places feel overwhelming. Emotions become more intense. Dreams become astonishingly vivid. Relationships begin changing. Old habits lose their attraction. The person in the mirror somehow looks identical, yet completely different. It is as though the same instrument has begun receiving an entirely new frequency. The Arcturians often use the metaphor of tuning. Imagine an old radio. For years it receives only static. Tiny adjustments seem meaningless. But then, one final movement. Suddenly the station becomes perfectly clear. Was the music created in that moment? No. It was always present. Only the receiver changed. According to these symbolic teachings, awakening works much the same way. Reality may not suddenly become different. Your perception becomes different. And when perception changes, everything changes. Some starseeds believe the mouth occupies a unique symbolic position within this transformation. It is where nourishment enters. It is where truth leaves. It is where prayers are spoken, where laughter begins, where healing conversations occur, where forgiveness is expressed, where promises are made, where lies can also be spoken. If the throat symbolizes expression, the mouth symbolizes choice. Every word begins there. Every truth passes through it. Every silence lives there too. Could heightened awareness in this area simply remind us to speak more consciously, to consume information more wisely, to stop feeding ourselves fear? The Arcturian message invites contemplation rather than certainty. It asks us not to rush toward conclusions, but to observe with curiosity. Notice your thoughts. Notice your emotions. Notice what was happening in your life when these sensations first appeared. Were you beginning to question old beliefs? Were you leaving unhealthy relationships? Were you discovering meditation? Were you forgiving someone? Were you finally forgiving yourself? Sometimes what appears to be a physical interruption becomes the beginning of a profound, inner conversation. And according to the Arcturian perspective, that conversation is only just beginning. For beyond the sensitivity itself lies a hidden pattern that most people never notice. A pattern that seems to connect memory, frequency, and consciousness in a way that could forever change how you understand your awakening. That is where our journey continues.